Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today we're going to be discussing my top 10 picks for May. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Helps my channel grow. I appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and you find it valuable. So I also want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about in this video. Buy after you did your research and your due diligence, or sell. So this is Abacus. So this is their CBD clinic on Twitter. So check them out. I just did a video about them. I'm gonna be uploading it. So I just decided to make a top 10. I did a top 5 recently, and that was just for kind of whenever. But this is specifically kind of for uh, May. I'm just looking at the companies that I think might do really well. I can't guarantee anything. Some might go down a fair substantial for all I know. So I'm gonna number 10 is gonna be Namaste, and that's because they're at 52 cents and 35 cents in US. And the reason why is they're at a low RSI rating, and they've been hit down so much. It looks as though that the bottom's in, that it leaves room for the company to go to 75 cents to a dollar and more. I know they have to release their financials. If their financials are really good, that should help them explode. So again, I'm not picking them as my number 10, my number 1 pick, but I'm picking them as my number 10 because I think they have good potential. Again, they might go down further. Number 9 is OGI. And the reason why I picked them is because they got 26.4 million last quarter, which is very impressive. And they're doing a very good profit for their sales of cannabis. And yeah, they're very undervalued versus some of the other companies such as Afria and Tilray. But you can look at it from different things. I mean, I know Tilray's market cap's been killed in the last 2 to 3 months as well. So, I mean, they've gone down a lot as well. But I think they're pretty undervalued. They're at $9.01 in Canada and 6.78 in America, and their ticker is OGI in Canada and OGRMF in America. And then I they're doing a lot of good things. Organigram, they're going to be growing a lot more, and they're trying to get into Europe. So I don't own them, but yeah. And then my number 8 pick is Harvest and Health Recreation, HRV in Canada and HRVSF in America, and this goes for 12.76 in Canada and 9.45 ish in USA, and they only have 60 million shares, so it's a pretty tight float. But they just bought Verona Holdings, or Verano Holdings, which is a big MSO. So they're also doing pretty big on their own. I think they did about 11 million last quarter in US dollars. So I mean, they're going to be reported either today or tomorrow, I believe. So, and I just think the company's going to be a big company come 2020. And even at the end of this year, I mean, I could see them doing, say, like 250 million, 400 million for the year or more. So yeah, I think even probably even a lot higher than that. But yeah, I picked them as number 8. And number 7, I picked Kush Bottles KSHB in America at around 570 USD because their price of sales is around 3.5. So their market cap's around 470 or something, and they, based on what they did last quarter, they would do about 141 million US. So that's pretty low price of sales, and their margins aren't amazing. They're around, I think, 10 to 20%. So it's not amazing, but the fact that they can really scale out and grow the profits as well in different ways, they'll find a way, and they could acquire some company as well to help them with their revenues that they're probably going to do around 200 million in 2019. And yeah, I mean, for the price, I think it's very inexpensive. I think it should be around $1 billion before the end of 2019. So based off of the price they're at right now, I can see them doubling. So I think they're pretty inexpensive. That's my number 8. Number 7, I mean. My number 6 is Meta, National Access, and the ticker is META in Canada and NACNF in America, and it's at 86 cents in Canada and 64 cents in America. And I basically think that they're doing really good. That next quarter, I believe that they should be profitable because they were just very short. They were only like a loss of about $300,000, and that was basically only from the clinics where a lot of their losses came from. As far as the rec model, they were only in a loss of about $8,000. So if they're going to have more stores for the next quarter, which they will have, and they'll have bigger revenues, they're in the top 5 for Canada companies, I think, with Canopy, Aurora, and they even beat CanTrust. So OGI is ahead of them, and yeah, I think they're probably 4th. So yeah, they're a really good player, and the market cap's I think around 150 million Canadian and about 110 million US. So it's pretty inexpensive for the fact that I think the company will probably do around 100 million plus in 2019, and come 2020, very likely they could do around 200 to 300 million. So when you got more edibles, and their profit margins will improve with those products as well. So yeah, I think the company's going the right direction, and for 150 million market cap, I think it can go up substantially from where it's at right now. And then my number 5 pick is High Tide, and this is a pick I got from Cyberworld 7. So I mean, I don't care about finding other people's picks. I find my own picks, and then I learn from other people's picks. So I just scour the whole internet to find my picks. It's not like nobody tells me my picks. I'm myself, like, and just because somebody says it's a pick, just as I'm saying it's a pick, doesn't mean it'll work for you, because maybe you don't see this video till 2 months later and it's gone up too much, or some other different reason. So again, but High Tide, yeah, I think they're going to do some really nice things, and that's my number 5 pick. And my number 4 pick is Tilt at 256 Canadian and around 185 USD, and Tilt TILT in Canada and SVVTF in America. And the reason why is because they're supposed to do around 400 million, and their market cap's around 800 million. So I look at them that they have to go up at least 2 to 4 times at least, and they could very much well go up 6 to 10 times from where their market cap's at today. To be honest, I think it's very possible within the next 12 to 24 months. I think so. They're going to grow the business to around 800 million in 2020, they're saying. So they've gone up a bit in the last week, so I don't know how much they're going to go up in the next couple of days, but they might just keep going up. So, but that's the reason why I didn't pick them for my number 1 pick, as I've had for in the past, because just they've gone up a bit. But other than that, I think I mean, I could have put them on a lower level. I just decided number 4. Number 3 is Suniva, SNN in Canada and SNNVF in America, at 495 in Canada and 370 in US. And I picked that because they're growing their revenues really fast with their California project, and they might be selling out their Canadian project to someone, so they'll have more cash, and that business is going to grow really nice at the end of the year. I mean, they're probably going to do around 70 million US at least in for the whole 2019, and they could do even more. They're set to do around 10.4 million for the upcoming quarter that'll be released at the end of this month, and then maybe at the end of the year they could be doing around 30 to 40 million per quarter. So yeah, their revenues are going to grow really fast, and it really hasn't seen that much of a improvement since they gave that guidance a few weeks ago. So I think Suniva is a company that people should really watch, because I could see it go to 10 to 20, $25 before the end of the year. I think that's very plausible. Again, it could go down, but I think I have my money on Suniva. I got shares in that company. So my number 2 pick is Harvest One HVT in Canada and HRVOF in America, and they go for 87 cents in Canada and about 65 US in America, and the market cap's around 175 million in Canada, and maybe around 200 million with some of the acquisitions, and then around 150 million in US. And they're just doing a lot of great things with I think their Luckett Lake facility that's going to add another 6,000 to 8,000 kilograms is going to be online pretty soon. And then they're now in Shoppers Drug Mart, and their products for Dreamwater and Delivra, they're going to be in more stores. They're doing Gelpel capsules across in Israel, and they might get some deal with Kroger's or Walgreens or CVS for their CBD products, for their Dreamwater CBD or their Delivra CBD or their Satifarm gel capsules. So things like that I think could come to fruition before the end of the year. So I think the company could very well go up 2 to 3 times before the end of the year. I also think that looking at the chart, it had a run to around $1.15, and now it's consolidated for the last couple of weeks, and it just kind of went up 2 cents in the last yesterday. Just seems to be kind of one to rise higher, and it's just getting ready for that next run where it could go to around about maybe $1.50 or $1.60, I think, before it cools down. So I think it's going to be a very hot mover for all of the summer. And for the end of the year, I think it's you're not going to find it, I don't think, around 75 cents in Canada or around 45 cents in US. I just don't think I think those days are over, just because with their new acquisitions, they're just going to be a lot bigger company, and eventually they're just going to have more analysts on them, and they might get onto the TSX before the end of the year. Things like that, I think people need to look out for. So my number 1 pick is Pyxus at around $21 in US, and they only have 9 million shares, and the insiders own, I think, around 50% of the shares, so there's really only around 4 million shares. So you just look at the fact that retail can really move that stock, and just big money players. This is also a company that Andrew Left, who was always shorting companies, he had a price target of around $54 a while back. I think it was somewhere really high, $54, $60 US dollars, and it went down to $17.50. So I was able to get a call option at $17.50 for very inexpensive, $1.25. And I'm just gonna, it's till the end of around May 18th. So I'm just gonna like see what happens. Maybe it goes to $30 or $35 before that time, and I can sell it for, like, I spent $125 and I can sell that call option for maybe $1,700 or $1,800. That'd be the best case. But I think it just hit the low RSI, and then it had a doji, and then it went to a green candle, and it seems like it's just starting to run. Today was the first day that it ran, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a big mover. I missed out on the last time when it run, and I tried to get in via option, but I found the options to be too expensive. But I was able to buy it when people didn't want to have the stock, so I was able to get it really inexpensive. So, but yeah, I think Pyxus is going to move up, and it just has such a low float that it could easily go to $40 or $50 in a blink of an eye. So anyways, that's my video on my top 10 picks for May. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a little bit about the cannabis companies that I think are the top 10, and I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe for future entertainment and content. And until next time, peace.